Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of your favorite podcast, Right Beside You, where we do life right beside each other. My name's Christina Nicole, and I am here right beside the amazing, the spontaneous, my best friend, the best boyfriend, and the stinkiest boyfriend, Georgie D.
What's happening? How are you doing today, my beautiful, lovely lady?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little tired. I have a little headache. It's a little hot outside.
A little heat never hurt nobody.
Right, a little sweaty. But how are you doing?
I'm good. I've just been marinating on that first episode that we did.
Okay.
And I think we need to revisit that topic of sharing.
Oh, the one that you... okay, yeah.
Because they say sharing is caring, and I care. So we can start off with a quote from Lucius Annaeus Seneca. And he said, "There's no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with."
Aww. Do you agree with that?
I think for most things, there's some things that can be enjoyed of value by yourself.
Like what?
A motorcycle. I don't need anybody on the back.
Yeah, just give me my own.
You have your own.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's like it's both of ours. I just keep it in my house.
Gotcha. So in episode 1, George did give a sneak peek of one of our first disagreements. What was that about, George?
It wasn't a disagreement. It was that I was right and you were wrong.
Huh.
I bought myself an extra pokey. I bought you a pokey. And you wanted to eat my extra pokey.
See, that was a test. And you failed.
How did I fail the test? I bought you your own.
True. However, we both ate our own bowls. And then I said, hey, I'm hungry. Still, can I have a little bite of yours? And that introduced the topic of sharing very early on. And George was like, no, I'm a big man, which I understood. And he didn't want to share. And I said, ooh, that's strike number 1, baby.
Well, in my defense, you did fail the Bronx Tale test.
I knew you would potentially bring that up when I said you failed.
And I think you failed that test that day, too. So I was already inclined not to share my Pokeball, even though I got you one.
So you're saying we're even?
What I'm saying is, I think that you enjoy eating my food. The joy for you is you getting me to give you some of my food.
I think for me, it's just science. Because the studies show that when you share food, the level of oxytocin in your body surges. So, you know, me being a science major and all, I was like, let's spike these hormones. Why not?
Well, oxytocin, that sounds like something that's dangerous.
No, the hormone, believe it or not, helps you and your partner bond and get along better. So I was just trying to bond with you on a deeper level. Is there something wrong with that?
I must be thinking about OxyClean.
You may be thinking about the drug.
Oh, Oxycontin.
Oxycontin.
And that has nothing to do with like the cotton in our new t-shirt line.
Ooh. Shameless plug. T-shirt line. Merchandise out now. Get yours. So yeah, basically what I was saying is it's science. And the act of sharing food, it's a sign of intimacy. Like social intimacy. When I'm just like looking at your plate and you're just enjoying it and I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. And I just pick a little scrimp off of it.
Where did you find these facts and statistics? Because they sound like they were definitely written by a woman.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, often, and I'm sure all the guys will be able to relate with me on this one. We'll be like, yeah, we're going to get us some barbecue chicken. Baby, you want something? And you're like, no, I don't want anything. And then we'll be like, all right, we don't get you nothing. And then you see us grubbing down on our barbecue chicken or our Jamba Juice or whatever we're chowing down on. And, can I have some? Didn't I just ask you if you wanted some? I would have got you your own. No, but I want some of yours.
That is so not true. I don't even eat barbecue chicken.
The chicken is not the chicken is not the point.
That's how you know it's inaccurate, because I don't even eat chicken. People, I don't eat chicken.
The chicken is not a point. The chicken is a metaphor for the item of desire. I just happen to have a taste for barbecue chicken right now, so that's the example I used.
Well, to prove your point, you should have used something more believable.
Okay, barbecue broccoli.
Everybody loves a little cauliflower barbecue broccoli.
But I do think over the years we have gotten better, both of us, about sharing our food and just sharing in general.
Yeah, would you say it was more of an adjustment for you?
Oh, 100%, because I grew up with a sister who would just steal my stuff and then tell me that I gave it to her. So I grew up very defensive about my food and about my t-shirts.
That is so true. I do remember back to that first time, and George was annoyed, I would say, in my opinion. Would you agree with that? Or were you just like, ugh? I felt like you were annoyed because I was like, why is he responding like this? You know, you're like hovering over your plate, and I'm just like, dude.
You have to protect your neck out there in these streets.
I see.
And by neck, I mean neck bones.
My thing is, I would give you my last bite. My last bite of shrimp, my last sushi roll bite. I would give you pretty much anything. So it kind of...
I would give you the first 7 bites before that. And that right there is the art of compromise.
Okay. Well, I do believe that when it came to food and your t-shirts, there was a little hesitation at first, a little resistance, but all in all, you got on board.
I was not given a choice. However, I did write into the contract. I have this favorite pair of sweatpants.
Ooh, yeah.
And
forgot about that.
Early on when we started dating, Christina was like, oh, I need some sweatpants. Ooh, can I wear these? These are really comfortable. Oh, can I have these? I'm like, no. I only have 2 pairs of those, and I can't get more because they were my college track sweatpants. So she was like, oh, come on, let me have them. Let me have them. And the agreement we came to was she could have them, but if we ever break up, I want my sweatpants back.
That was definitely in the contract. And I was like, fine. It makes sense to me. Like, why would I keep your sweatpants?
Because they say UC San Diego on them, and you're a proud UC San Diego alum.
I did graduate from UC San Diego.
But no, we're not sending y'all no money.
I do miss the beach. That's one thing. And the weather. And the blue skies. But I was going to respond to you earlier when you said about the sweats. I think in regards to the sweats, I grew up with 2 older brothers who either just didn't know that I would wear their sweats, kind of like, your sister, so I totally can relate to that. And I would just say, ooh, these look comfortable. And I was always into that oversized, baggy comfort look. Still am.
That Missy Elliott thing.
Yeah, that Aaliyah, get back up.
Dust yourself off.
Dust yourself off. 1 in a million. 4-page letter. Anything. Anyways, all things. Aaliyah was dope. R.I.P. Beautiful queen. But yeah, when I went to sleep, I would want to wear sweats because they were just comfortable. So when I first tried on your sweats, I was like, ooh, they're so comfortable. So that's why I like them so much. I still have them.
Do you?
Hence, we haven't broken up yet.
How do you know I didn't repossess them?
Oh, I check on them occasionally.
Like a thief in the night.
Okay.
So what are some other things that can be shared in a relationship?
I think that, how deep do you want to get? Because there's bigger categories like finances. There's your car. There's simple things like, oh, I had a dream last night. Or this funny thing happened at work and you want to share those. Or your emotions or your feelings or experiences. So I think that it just depends. For me, I think that I love hearing your dreams because they're really crazy. So when you share those types of stories or your experiences, I like that.
I actually had a crazy dream last night.
Share, please.
I don't remember what happened, but it was crazy.
You do have those crazy dreams. And I feel like if you don't share them immediately, you kind of...
They
fade away.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
Oh.
Is there anything that you have to set a boundary with in regards to sharing with your partner or even your family or your friends? Are there any boundaries that you have? Because those are important too.
I think that I ain't gonna share my woman.
Ooh, preach. And I ain't gonna share my man.
For less than... What's our price? 2 beach houses with a 5-car garage, and you get 30 seconds.
30 seconds of what? Hold up. Let's...
Okay. We'll have to negotiate.
Because I'll hold your hand for 30 seconds.
That's what we're doing. 30-second handhold, 2 beach houses, 5-car garage with that Cadillac with the sunroof top and the diamond in the back, and 2 puppies and a rabbit.
See, now I think we're getting into an entirely different business.
You're right, and I don't think that this is appropriate in the state of California. We're moving to Nevada.
Oh my gosh. So what about electronics or passwords and or location?
I think for us, we don't really have boundaries in that sense. Granted, you don't have every password of mine. I don't have every password of yours, but as far as I can get into your phone if I need to, because there's been a time where I've had to use your phone to call your dad when you had your accident because my phone wasn't working correctly. Same thing with the location. We're constantly sharing our location with each other, not as a way of... It's not a way for us to spy on each other. It's more a safety precaution. If you go out for a run and all of a sudden I see your dot moving down the 60 freeway at 70 miles an hour, then I know something's wrong. And I can act quicker because that information is available to me. But I'm also not checking your location every 5 minutes to make sure you're where you say you are. In general, there has to be a reason for me to look and see where you are Like, if I'm going to surprise you, I want to see if you're at the house or not. I may check to see if you're at the house. Or, like I said, if you go on a run, or if you are driving late at night, I can watch your progress. So I think there's a certain level of trust that has to come with that sharing of locations and sharing of passwords, because you have to trust the other person not to violate that access, because they can have that access, but it's not there for them to go through and start looking for stuff. But at the same time, if you're not hiding anything, there's nothing for them to find. It's a balancing act, because it takes trust and responsibility on both sides.
Yeah, and there's no secret. I'm not hiding anything from you. If I'm at work, I'm at work. If you're at work, you should be at work. And I don't think there's, like you said, we're not taking advantage of that information that we gave each other. You know what I mean? If you need to use my computer, why not? Like, use it. It's right here. Versus you getting up and going to your desk to look something up, or going home to do something. So I definitely agree with that 100%. And I don't share a lot of personal things with a lot of people. I would consider myself very private in that regard. But my partner, yes. And that's why I have to trust him. And I feel like that goes both ways. So I think I'm very open if my partner says, hey, what are your thoughts on us sharing locations or passwords or something like that? I have to gauge his intent. And I think when it comes down to it, I do go running by myself. I do drive home alone at night sometimes. And I thought that was a sweet gesture. Like, oh, he wants to check up on me and make sure I made it home safely. So I agree. I think there's nothing wrong with that. So what would you say in regards to, like, hobbies?
I think that it's good to share your hobbies, and it's good to have somebody to do your hobby with, but at the same time, sometimes you don't need your partner engaging in your hobby with you. You just need to do what you need to do and get on with it. Like, I don't need you out there with an impact gun busting lug nuts off of tires, although you do look good doing it. But every time I go and work in the garage, I don't need you to come hold my hand. I can get it done.
Yeah, I think it's necessary, even in a close relationship, to maintain your individuality. And for George, that's just wrenching in the garage, listening to his other favorite podcast, and that's a peaceful time for you to just spend Sunday morning hanging out. And for me, the thing that I like to do is exercise and either go for a hike or a walk or a bike ride. And we do those things alone.
You're not allowed to bike ride anymore.
But there are some things that we do share, like traveling. That's something that we do together. And I've traveled alone and I've traveled with you. And I would definitely say that traveling with someone is different, but really, really fun and exciting.
Even though I don't fit easily into most overhead storage spaces?
Yeah. That's so true, because we have to upgrade every single time, and I'm not used to that because I'm so short and I fit into tiny little packages.
Yeah, we have to upgrade the legroom, not the, I don't need the seatbelt extender.
Hopefully not.
So is there anything that you would say is off limits?
Definitely my man. I do not share the intimate moments that we have together, period.
Everyone has a price.
No.
What if Oprah shows up with a beach house on the beach, next to the beach, with water in front of it?
Would you want to share?
What are we sharing?
I don't know.
I mean, I'd have to look at that house.
Okay. I think all in all, when it comes to something being off limits or setting that boundary, if it's a material item, it's just as simple as asking. You know what I mean? Versus demanding or just sneaking. Like if you ate the last cookie or the last donut or the last tomato,
I'm not eating the last tomato.
You gotta throw some
You're
healthy
good.
options in
You're
there.
good.
I know.
That tomato will be there for you, I promise. Now, if we're talking about some ice cream, the ice cream may not make it.
I think that's why we are so compatible, because I don't ever have to worry about you eating all the fruits and vegetables in the household.
And my tri-tip will still be there when I go back in the fridge.
Exactly. So I don't know why earlier you said
It was a metaphor.
eat your barbecue chicken.
It was a metaphor.
That doesn't even sound appetizing to me.
I didn't say chicken, I said ficken. You know, the soy-based plant protein chicken.
Okay, so what about, were you mad when I ate all the sour cream and onion chips?
Yes, I was.
So is that a boundary? Is that off limits?
No, see, it's not off limits. It's just that now I know I have to hide my chips.
So, George, you usually just hide things from me
on the top shelf.
On the top shelf.
100%.
So rude. You know I can just get a chair. And that's why I've been asking you to build me a stool.
And that's why I haven't built you a stool.
Oh.
The top shelf is my sanctuary.
Now I'm curious as to what's up there.
Nothing. Ain't nothing up there.
Okay.
I'll have to get a higher shelf.
I think ultimately it's about respect. I feel like if you're hungry, eat whatever you want in my fridge, in my cupboards. If you're cold, grab a sweater, although you definitely can't fit my sweaters.
That's another issue, because you wear all my clothes, and then I try to put your shorts on, and you're like, no, don't stretch them, you're fat.
I say that?
You do say don't stretch them.
So now you're lying to the people.
So you don't tell me not to stretch out your clothes?
I definitely say that. It's because you're taller than me.
Oh.
Yeah, It has nothing to do with the expansion of your waistline recently.
Wow. It's getting hot in there. Got a brother sweating. Woo.
Oh my gosh.
I think we should take it to the people. What do you do in your relationship? Get on Instagram. Let us know at Bside you, no E behind the B. And let us know what you feel about your relationship. Are there things that we're saying that are totally off limits? Like, no, I would never share my location with my significant other. Or, nah, he got to get his own barbecue chicken. And we want to hear from the fellas. We want to hear from the ladies. We want to hear from everybody.
Definitely. We just want to know how you guys handle these certain situations and just have a conversation about it.
And I guess the last thing we can talk about is sharing space.
Ooh, dun dun dun. That has definitely been the most recent, I guess, topic that we've had to discuss. Because when George moved closer out here, we spend majority of time at Studio G. and not Studio C. So he did share his closet with me, although it is a walk-in closet. It is a very short walk-in closet. And although I love short things, a closet is not one of those things.
I was unaware we were sharing that closet. I just thought it was your closet and I had a couple things in it.
You have the garage.
You're right, because I get dressed in the garage.
You do, actually, because your clothes are everywhere in the garage.
Those are my garage clothes. It's a totally different thing.
But you work at a garage for your actual career. So, put on your clothes, hop in the car, go to work.
So
win-win.
I think this is another opportunity to talk about something that we'll discuss more in the future. But we can cover it right now real quick just because we're on the topic of closets and space.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Christina cannot understand is that I have piles of laundry.
Oh!
I got the clean pile, the dirty pile, and the funky pile. There's 3 piles. There's a method to this madness, okay? Hear me out. The clean pile is clean clothes that have come out the dryer. The dirty pile is clothes that have been worn once, maybe twice, not usually underwear, but things that can be worn again. And then the funky pile is the pile that needs to go back to the laundry and needs to be washed before it can be re-entered into service. Clean, dirty, funky.
Wow. I'm so glad that you brought this up because I'm still trying to learn this philosophy of yours on laundry because I have one laundry basket, which includes the dirty clothes, meaning everything that needs to be washed. So if it's dirty, you throw it in the laundry basket. If it's not dirty, it must be clean or you're probably going to wear it again, correct?
Yeah.
No,
If you're going to wear it again, that means it's dirty. That means it's not funky. Because when it's funky, you can't wear it again. You know when the drawers stand up in the corner and they just, I had a long day. Let me tell you about it. That's funky. Okay?
See, this 3-tiered system that you have.
There's levels to this.
I'm trying to understand this. However, there have been a few times where, me taking the initiative to wash all the clothes, I just take the laundry basket and put it in the washer. And George one day comes to me and he's like, "Why didn't you wash my clothes?"
No, that's not what I said. What I said was, why didn't you tell me you were washing clothes? Because I had some stuff in the dirty pile that could have gone to the funky pile so that we could use less water because I'm an environmentalist and I want to save the planet.
I stand corrected. He did say. So one day, me taking the initiative, I got the laundry basket and I threw all the clothes that were in the laundry basket that were dirty,
funky,
into the washer. And George comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, why didn't you tell me you were washing clothes? I may have had some clothes that needed to be washed." And I said, my response was, if you needed those clothes to be washed, they would be in the dirty hamper. Yes? Agree? He was like, "No, because I have a dirty pile, but then I have a funky pile. And stuff that is in the dirty pile doesn't necessarily need to be washed, but it could be washed if I just put it to my nose and smell it. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, let's transfer that to the funky pile." So I said, look, it's easy. If you want something washed and I'm doing laundry, it needs to be in the basket. If you want to do your 3-stepped tiered program /philosophy / craziness, then I'm going to let you do laundry.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave the people with one last word of wisdom on this topic before we wrap it up for the day. Just know that when dealing with dirty and funky, if your underwear is dirty, you can flip it inside out and it's clean again.
That's what you're going to leave the people with?
Yeah, that's my words. That's George's words of wisdom for today.
If we're being honest, he uses that technique very often because oftentimes he'll come over my house and he's like, I forgot to bring clean drawers.
No, you have a washing machine.
I have a washing machine and I also gave you a drawer to put all your clean drawers in.
I got clean drawers, so we good. But the other tip, the last tip, this is the last one, I promise.
Okay, Uncle George.
This is the last one. Now let me tell you something. Listen here, young bloods, I'm going to tell you about something. Your underwear can't be dirty if you don't take it off. Think about it. All right, well, once again, thank you for listening.
I really thought about it. I was like,
All right. Thank you once again for listening to the Right Beside You podcast, where we do life right beside each other. Because at the end of the day,
I'm not above you.
I'm not below you. I'm right beside you.
Cheers.
Never miss an episode by subscribing on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.